Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please? The forum discussion is about to begin. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this forum discussion. Thank you for lending some of your precious time and ears by joining us today. Our issue for this forum is aesthetic is the most important element in the product selections. Before I forgot, let me introduce to all of you about our panels for this forum, because most of them have a lot of knowledge regardless of our issues today. This is Dr. Nurnajihah Farhani Binti Zainuddin, our first panel. And beside her is Datuk Muhammad Faiz Rahimi bin Ibrahim, our second panel. Next, Puan Seri Suhaiza Hanis binti Baharum, our third panel, followed by Prof. Muhammad Akram bin Muhammad Alawi, our fourth panel. And last but not least, Dr. Syahirah, our fifth panel. Welcome to our forum today. Hopes we are all in a good condition during this pandemic. I am Ms. Nur Syafiqah binti Omar as your moderator for today's forum. Before we get started, let's listen to our first panel, Dr. Nurnajihah, about aesthetic.
Okay, hi. First of all, I would like to thank you, Ms. Moderator, for having us to join in your debating issue, as it has been a hot topic lately. So basically, aesthetic is the philosophical study of beauty and taste. Also, taste we can call it as preference, human preference. It also close related to philosophy of art. We can say that aesthetic is a principle that design need and pleasing qualities. In visual aesthetic, in visual term, aesthetic includes factors such as shape, color, patterns, and even the weight. So me, myself, as a head marketing manager, believe the aesthetic used to complement our product usability. Thank you, Ms.
So,
Moderator.
Doctor, what is your opinion about aesthetic being the most important element in product selection?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. So my opinion is aesthetic is the most important element in attracting customers, especially on online business. The aesthetic of product helps to clinch sales online, also offline, I believe. This is because of aesthetic design imply an eye-catching element towards the product. Beautiful and aesthetic product activate it can activate it initial response such as emotion, behavior, and perception. Van Rompuy, who is a researcher, also agree that visual design element is one of significant factors that can influence consumer perception. For your information, producer conceptualize our customer as a pleasure seeker. Why? Because customers tend to buy and use products that able to satisfy their emotional arousal. For example, Adidas brand versus Artist brand. Both are same, which is a sport brand that sells almost the same item. But why Adidas brand is getting more attention from users? I believe this is because Adidas brand has more appealing design and looking more trendy compared to Archie. Archie is more focused to users' comfort. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nurnajihah. We have heard from our first panel that she is agreed with the topic. Now, let's move to our second panel, which is Datuk Faiz. Datuk, my question is, do you agree that aesthetic is the most important element in product selection?
Thank you to Mrs. Moderator. So I did not agree with the topic. So because consumer will take a lot of time during selecting the product that have an aesthetic. So because aesthetic can make consumer confused during select the product. So consumer behavior toward online shopping can make them take a lot of time browsing and explore on the website. It can give a difficult to consumer that want to choose or survey the product. Of course, consumer will take look careful the description about the product during select the product. It is because nowadays there are too many online scam. such as seller can edit the image of the product to look beautiful on the website. So that's why consumer will look careful to avoid them being cheating in terms of design and aesthetic of the product. So they have a research that have been surveyed by Macaulay 1997. It has shown that the store color and atmosphere has increased the time that consumers spend in the store. Thank you.
Okay, so sorry for the interrupt you, Dr. Faiz. I think I get your point. But in my opinion, people can snap judgment to purchase the product that have high aesthetic. They only take 1/10 of the second on something that they see or they look about the product that have high aesthetic. So customer will not take their time too much because aesthetic design have a good design and lead to the first sight of love to the product. This is the reason why aesthetic is the most important element for the product selection. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Faiz and Dr. Sarah, for the information. Puan Seri Suhaiza, what is your opinion on product aesthetic? Is there any thought?
Thank you to our moderator. Okay, for me, aesthetic product is a product that have to look to cover the weakness of the product. I have some points to stand with my opinions. Firstly, 36 participants were being asked to rate the aesthetic appeal of the more and less aesthetic leather cover on a 7-point semantic differential with 2 endpoints, which is this leather cover look ugly and this leather cover looks good. So as such, the results show that the effect of product aesthetic on users' intensity is moderate by product durability. Hence, the result does not only contribute by provide new support for our conceptual reasoning, but also by clarifying the effect of product aesthetic may ultimately depends on product durability. Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Sri Suhaiza, for your opinion. As I can see, we can conclude that there are two sides who agree with aesthetic. How about you, Prof. Akram?
Okay, thank you for our moderator, Ms. Shafika. For my opinion, I think it's no. For the aesthetic is the most important element in the product selection because people tend to buy quality of the product than choosing aesthetic product because people will choose the product based on the quality product like lifetime use of product because they don't need to spend extra money to buy the same product when the product is broke or damaged. Then customer also doubt in choosing their based on the suitable or appropriate the product to them because nowadays after the spread of the COVID-19 in our country have changed our lifestyle and also economy also dropped down. So people need to use their money properly and also need to consider that they really need to buy the product or postpone to buy it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Akram. Discussion become more interesting now. Let's continue with next panel. May I ask you about your reflection on today's topic, Dr. Syahirah?
Sure. In my opinion, based on the journal that I read, the novelty of aesthetic product will lead to the acceptance because people will look the brand of product before they purchase any product because sometimes people will buy the certain product based on their friend's suggestion. With the based on their friend's suggestion, they will lead uh, to they will lead themselves to buy the product that have high aesthetic and famous, that have high quality also. For example, we give example Apple brand. As you know, Apple brand is a famous brand in a commodity. So people will lead to buy the famous item as their collection. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt your opinion, Miss Sarah. Uh, for my view, not always the novelty of the product lead to the acceptance of the product, because some company out there use this kind of method to marketing their product. If this method were used too much, it can lead to scam the consumer to buy the product. For example, in the description, it has many features that has in the product, but in reality, it didn't have at all. So people will be blind by the marketing and purchase the product. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Syahirah, for your reflection of this topic, and also thank you to Prof. Akram has added your points of your disagreement. Next, Dato' Faiz, what is your standpoint over this topic?
Thank you. So my next point is price can influence customer decision when purchasing the product. Actually, the first thing first customer will look during purchasing certain product is price. This is because consumer already have a expectation price on what they want to buy. So customer do not look aesthetic design only. They will match the price with aesthetic design also. If the price is in their budget, then they will look to design later on. Other than that, product with high aesthetic usually will be expensive. Yes, it is because they require a lot of effort and energy in produce the product. Last but not least, the production also need the person who has the skill to produce the product to, to, to produce that product. So that's why the product has a high price. So that's all.
Sorry for interrupting. I know price can be a barrier for consumer purchasing decision. However, I believe that emotional value can also influence consumer decision. This is because aesthetic product will give a positive emotion to a consumer, which they will feel good, happy, and satisfied. As a user myself, of course, I would like to have a positive feeling when I want to buy something. It can be called the aesthetic value of commodities is essential to the purchaser feeling. For example, I can give you antique items such as old cars and furnitures. Even though these items are not usable anymore, people find the sentimental value and the unique design which are not produced anymore by producer is what attracting them, even the price is higher and unbelievably expensive. Thank you.
Sorry, can I add some point? I
Yes, you
didn't
can.
I I didn't agree all about Miss Jiha. Not all people can stimulate good emotional value when buying aesthetic product, because almost all aesthetic product have a high maintenance on the product. So not all people are able to purchase the product. Good emotional also provide to the low in aesthetic product, because it depends on the people preference when buying. That's all.
I noticed that Dato' Faiz really disagree with aesthetic is the most important in selection product. Prof. Akram, do you want to add some more points?
Sure, Ms. Shafika. For my point, I think I disagree about this. Uh, this happen because people who really know about aesthetic only will buy the product. Uh, for the people who don't know the aesthetic will not really not really have intention to buy the product. So for the need, I can conclude that people have lower knowledge on the product aesthetic will less to for them to buy it. This happen because aesthetic product need to have knowledge about the product to make the consumer can see the value of the product. Okay.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I get I get your point, Prof. Akram, but I think um, aesthetic product don't need much knowledge for consumer to purchase and use it, because aesthetic product can easily recognize with eye and also have manual or description to the product for easy to consumer using. This factor also will help to the non-knowledge to know about aesthetic product. Thank you.
Interesting debate from all of you. So, Puan Sri Suhaiza, do you want to proceed more on your point?
Okay, yes, sure. In addition, when we choosing the aesthetic product, it will feel enjoyable in our life. When we perceive beauty with more our sense, we feel deeper pleasure from the design. Thus, we enjoy looking and using aesthetically pleasing design because it satisfies our sense. Hence, of course, we are human like pretty and shining design as they desire it much more than functional one. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think design
Connection
does not
loss.
provide the fully satisfied to the customer when purchased, because product have a good design, not make the product functional at all. It's all depend on quality, not aesthetic. Thank you.
Oh, I see. But I think that Faiz wants to add another argue.
Yes, thank you. So my last point, I think the decrease aesthetic decrease while using can reduce consumption enjoyment. Consumption enjoyment is the most thing that consumer want to feel when purchase certain product. Usually, consumer are more likely to select the product that use less aesthetic than high aesthetic. It is because product with high aesthetic can cause them lost real fun during using that product, especially when they buy non-durable product. For your information, the consumer will appreciate the effort of the production in producing beautiful product. So no matter what, they need to use them a lesser extent to avoid the product getting destroyed during consumption. Thank you.
So we can conclude that aesthetic will give a bad experience to consumers. Dr. Syahirah, do you have any other points?
Yes, I have. For me, aesthetic can influence purchase intention relationship because purchase purchase relationship purchase decision is strongly influenced by the color, shape, uh, design of the product. Consumer perception of an object can be relevant by their selected color choice. The product color can enhance buyer and increase the sales. Aesthetic response lead to the behavior intention, which is can either positive aesthetic response or negative feeling about the product. When the product have positive feeling of aesthetic response, by they see the shape, color, and design of the product. So, um, positive feeling about a pleasing product design may lead to greater intention to make a purchase, where some consumer who have negative feeling about the design may be avoiding it. Thank you.
Okay, before we end our forum, I like to add my opinion. I think I still disagree about aesthetic is the most important element in the product selection because of customer skepticism lead to negative impact on the customer purchasing intention. Why? Because if the innovation on the product is too much, it will make the consumer skepticism toward the aesthetic product and also will decrease the purchasing intention from consumer. So some consumer that repeat the purchase based on their use a product they have used. So the product they have used will innovate or increase the value. The customer will citizen toward the product. Lastly, for my opinion, I think innovation of static product increase. Some people will not buy. It will be harder to use the product and increase the citizen toward the customer. Thank you.
Sorry, Prof. Akram, but I would like to deliver my standpoint about the innovated product. As a producer myself, we usually innovate product to be more usable and easier to use because our main focus while innovating a product is a consumer skill which we don't know their capabilities and also we want to reduce the time consuming when consumers using the products so they will be more faster. So even the first time users can also use it easily and smoothly. Thank you.
Nice ending, Dr. Najihah and Prof. Akram. I think most of you have agreed that aesthetic give advantages in selection product, but look to these agreed points, we can conclude that aesthetic of product is not a strong element in product selection. I believe that it is important for product to look nice visually on online marketing. So as we can see, aesthetic only cannot fight over quality element. It must have both elements to complete a product. Last but not least, aesthetic is not the most important element in product selection. It's need other element also to fulfill consumers' product selection. So I think that all from all of you. Thank you for being a part of this forum and thank you for lending us your ears. Big applause for your cooperation for today. I hope you can meet and discuss on another forum next time.
For
For
sure.
sure, you
Thank you.
can.
Sure.
Thank you.
Can.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Okay,
moderator.
thank you.